Hello, my dears. Today we'll talk about something that everybody was asking me in the comments that I had to a lot of videos. Basically, all the questions were, how much does it cost to make a company in Romania in 2024? So, we all know that it's still worth doing a business here in Romania. We still know that having a company here means a very, very low taxes compared to other European Union states. So now, because you want to make a business here in Romania, you want to know now how much does it cost. So in this video, we'll talk about this. So stay with us until the end. And of course, we'll talk about everything in detail if you want after that in private or in comments or whenever you or wherever you want. Okay, let's see how do you start a business here in Romania and what are the conditions. First of all, you need to be 18 years old in order to start the business. You may have any citizenship of any country, it doesn't matter. This is the most important criteria, to be 18 years old. And of course, to establish for yourself a field of activity. From our experience, the most common fields of activity lately, especially for those ones that are from outside Romania, are like this. E-commerce, because it's really easy to do it from wherever the part of the world. IT, because this is also something that you can do remotely and really, really quick. Consultancy, but take into consideration that consultancy may not be as good from tax point of view as you may need. Of course, if you already stay here in Romania, you may do beauty salons, fitness salons and so on, restaurants, coffee shops, business in agriculture. There are a lot of businesses and ideas that you may invest in. The most important thing is to take a real close look of what you know to do and what you want to do, and if you are specialist in the field that you chose. So in any case, from this wide range of activities, you need to choose 1, 2, 3 to see which are the most suitable for you. Now let's see, what do you need to start a business here in Romania? Obviously, the idea and the know-how, these two are the most important that you need to know. After that, you need to establish yourself a legal way of doing this, either SRL, PFA, and so on. I already talked about all these types in previous videos from our channel. And in the end, the working capital, because this is also important. You need to have some working capital in the beginning. Now, we'll talk honestly and openly how much does it cost to make a business here in Romania in 2024, because there are some specific aspects that you should take into consideration and of course that you need to follow. First of this aspect is the headquarters, because you need to take into consideration that you are a foreigner, which means that or not necessarily, not only foreigners, each person that wants to open a company here in Romania needs to have a headquarters. Now, the headquarter, usually it's from a lawyer and costs between 400 euro per year up to 1,500 euro per year, depending on the company that you select to work with or not. Now, the share capital, because it's really important to have share capital. These are some money that you put in the company and you take it back. From our experience, the share capital that we recommend is 40 euro, which means 200 RON. This was the amount that was mandatory before the legislation was changed. Now you are allowed to put even 1 euro as share capital, meaning 0.25 euro, 1 RON, meaning 0.25 euro. But this is not something that I would recommend because it's the image of your company, so it's better to go on a little bit higher amount. After that, you have the taxes to pay to the trade register, which vary between 120 RON up to 250, depending on who and what does your company, your papers. The trade register, it's a fee that usually if, for example, you want to open your company by yourself, you need to pay. If somebody else is taking care of opening your company, then they need to pay. The amount, as I said, is between 120 RON up to 250 RON. In euro means 30 euro up to 50 euro, more or less. Of course, if you are not the one that takes care of your of setting up of the company, then you need to pay also the company that takes care of these legal procedures. Either is a company, either is a private lawyer, a cabinet of lawyers, and so on. Usually, this costs between 120 euro up to 1,500 euro, of course, depending on what you are asking to them, how many shareholders you have, how many kind codes you have, meaning the activity code, the codes. Varies accordingly to a lot of things, especially of what you want to do and what you want to put on that company. But as a interval of prices is from 500 euro up to 1,500 euro. And of course, consultancy, if you want to have consultancy before setting up of the company, this is also something that is not mandatory. It's only up to you, or if you want to understand better some things, you may have it or not. Usually the consultancy varies from 65-75 euro per hour up to 100-150 euro per hour. Of course, again, depending on the company or the lawyer that you select to work with. Okay, now you established your company, and let's talk a little bit about the next steps that you want or have to do. First of all, it's really important to open the bank account in order for the company to be legally set up. For opening the bank account, as a Romanian, you don't have to pay anything else. As a foreigner, the same, you don't have to pay anything else, but as a foreigner, sometimes the banks may ask to go to the bank with a translator, which means costs. Depending on the bank, may or may not, because they may have people that are English speakers, and in that case they do not require a translator. They may have people that do not speak English, so they require a translator. Usually that translator that goes with you at the bank costs between 50 euro up to 100 euro per hour. So be attentive how many hours will you stay with that translator. Besides this, you need an accountant, because as a SRL, you need to submit declarations even from the very beginning, depending on the month in which you are set up. Usually accountancy here in Romania varies from 500 RON meaning 100 euro, up to 200, 300 euro since the beginning, again, depending on the company that you work with and who that you select for your company. These are medium prices and are valid for both Romanian and foreigners, depending on the activity that you have, if you have employees or not, and so on. Now, if your clients are Romanian companies, you need to take into consideration another thing as well, meaning fiscal electronic signature, because it's really important to submit the invoices to the Romanian state, but only if you have Romanian clients as for your company, not for individuals, not for companies that you are invoicing outside Romania. Usually this electronic signature costs around 300 RON per year, meaning 70 euro per year. Of course, it's not mandatory, but it would be advisable to have an invoicing program, which again costs around 300 RON per year, 70 euro meaning. And that should be all the costs that you may have in the beginning. Now, how do you cut costs? Because I said to you a lot of costs in here. From my point of view, and what I would recommend is to have a company that takes care of all these procedures in your behalf, because it's much more easier like this. Basically, there are companies here in Romania that are helping you with company foundation, accounting, payroll, consultancy, I don't know, invoicing, transmitting the invoice to the Romanian e-invoice system, and so on. Thus, on a base contract, you may receive this. You may receive complete set of services to start your business. You may receive all the guarantee of correctness, the promptness, rapidity, and so on. And you have also the time that you need to spend by researching. You'll have an economy of this time. You will save a lot of time and money if you'll do this through a company. So this is something that I would recommend, and I would advise you to do this, because nobody has the time nor the nerves and the ability to work with all this bureaucracy, because unfortunately there is some bureaucracy in this field, and not even Romanians can work with all this, but especially for foreigners it's even more harder. So that being said, what I have now is a surprise for you, because we are close to 1,000 subscribers, which is really wow for us, because everything went so smoothly and indeed in some time. But that means that what we present here is important, and it really helps. So if, for example, you want to establish your company and you want to do all this with us, because us as MBV Group, we take care of all these services. You don't have to worry about anything. You just contact us and we'll solve everything in your behalf. Today, we will let you, on this video, we have a code that you need to put, and it's a special discount that you will have, because, as I said, we are close to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I honestly presented you all the costs that you may face here in order not to be taxed too much, and hopefully we'll collaborate in the future. Thank you again.